Okay, hello, I'm Dr. Jeremy Heyman. I'm a naturopathic doctor here at Cornerstone Naturopathic, and Dr. Ashley Margison put on Instagram last night she was going to do a little bit of a sneak attack on me today at some point to talk to me about anti-cancer foods. We never got to it, so I'm just going to put it out here tonight, and hopefully Dr. Ashley will be proud that we got this up. So anti-cancer foods, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Basically, it's what your parents and your grandparents and the U.S. parents are telling their kids. Plant-based vegetables, fruits, that's really the go-to as far as where we want to kind of like focus our time on anti-cancer properties, and that's where a lot of the research is. And when we talk about anti-cancer foods and cancer prevention, prevention means that we're basically taking our risk of cancer and we're reducing all the modifiable possibilities or risk factors with it. So cancer is now being seen more as like a disease of lifestyle. So lifestyle, diet, sleep, stress, all those types of things, and diet specifically with all of the different the various compounds and chemicals and nutrients actually have a direct impact on your genetics and whether certain genes are turned on, certain genes are turned off, certain genes are controlled or uncontrolled, and also on epigenetics. So like the types of genes and the genetic makeup or setup that you're passing on to like future generations, your kids and that kind of thing. So a few of the foods that we're going to go through here tonight, let's kind of whip through them as quick as we can over the next few minutes. So cruciferous vegetables. So cruciferous vegetables comes from the family of foods that contain foods like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, all types of sprouts. The list actually goes on. I would suggest you guys just like go on Google, say cruciferous vegetables, and it'll give you a whole list. These foods contain sulforaphane, and sulforaphane is a very anti-cancer chemical or compound, and it's been shown very beneficial in a lot of different cancers, like hormone-related cancers and non-hormone-related cancers, like breast and prostate, lung, colorectal, and the list sort of goes on there. So eat your vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables, and the theme tonight, like I said earlier, is going to be just like plant-based, and that's basically, we can't get away from that because that's kind of where all the cancer properties come in. With the cruciferous family as well, so broccoli sprouts, so any kind of sprouts, but also broccoli sprouts. So one single broccoli sprout, now these are golden gems here. So one single broccoli sprout is equivalent to the amount of sulforaphane that you would actually find in a full head of broccoli. So you can see that taking a handful of broccoli sprouts, how powerfully anti-cancer that it actually is. So you want to take those broccoli sprouts and you want to sprinkle them on your soup, you want to put them in your smoothie, put them on your salad, eat them by the handful or the bushel full, whatever you can do. And most of these foods we want to keep organic as much as possible as well, because we just avoid like the pesticide spray and that type of thing, which is a different conversation. Okay, a couple other foods here. So chlorophyll, which comes from, creates the green on all of the plants and trees out in nature. Chlorophyll actually is able to bind a lot of the carcinogenic compounds that we find in our foods or that are created in our foods, like through grilling and charring and through molds and that type of thing that are in our foods, and it binds them and complexes with them, and it makes it more difficult actually for the body to absorb and utilize or be impacted by these carcinogens. So it takes it, combines it, and basically releases it out of the body. So that's one of the major benefits of chlorophyll. And chlorophyll, like I said, is any green plant or vegetable that you can put onto your plate. No limits at all. On the topic of greens, green tea, I drink at least one green tea a day if it's just in the dry tea form or the matcha powder form. I try and drink at least one. Sometimes I drink two, sometimes I drink three, and I supplement with green tea as well in like a supplement form, but that's another topic of conversation another day. A lot of benefit there as far as cutting off the cancer's ability to like gain nutrition from your body to live and thrive and grow. So that's green tea. So drink your green tea if that's possible. Again, organic as much as possible. Selenium, folic acid. So selenium comes from Brazil nuts. So if you can eat at least 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day. Seeds, any kind of nuts really, like pumpkin seeds. Nutritional yeast. So I sprinkle nutritional yeast on my on my pasta sometimes if I have pasta. I use it sometimes like as a cheese alternative in some of our cheese recipes. So selenium, so that's a selenium containing food. So even legumes and grains are high in selenium, but because our soil is depleted in selenium, it's hard to actually gather that particular nutrient from like the regular array of foods that we consume regularly. Folic acid comes from dark leafy green vegetables, so kale, collards, Swiss chard. Myself and my family actually had Swiss chard wraps last night, so we often replace like the wheat wraps or the bread with Swiss chard. We kind of wrap our burgers and stuff up that way. Very high in folic acid, so depleted folic acid and deficient selenium in our bodies has actually been connected to the rise in risk of various cancers. I want to make a quick mention about antioxidants. So antioxidants is a huge conversation and huge controversy in cancer, especially with active cancer care, but that's again another conversation for another day. Carotenoids is a type of phytochemical in the family of antioxidants, like beta carotene, alpha carotene. There's a whole array. And beta carotene, as most of us already may have heard before, comes from carrots. So carrot juice, so if you're juicing carrots or juicing vegetables, you're going to get a huge array of antioxidants and carotenoids, carotenes and such. So that's one food that you want to actually consume. Citrus fruits, and then just regular fruits and berries as well. Definitely big in as well. And what else I want to talk about here with antioxidants and carotene specifically. So squashes, so winter squashes, spaghetti squashes, those are all great sources. But really, when it comes to antioxidants and carotenoids, like any fruit, really, basically any vegetable is going to give you a good concentrated dose. So that stuff, some of it's in moderation, we'll talk another day, but the variety again of fruits and vegetables is huge for sure. I think that's all I want to talk about tonight. There's a whole list of other foods, but we're going to kind of keep this short. What I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to actually take one specific food and I'm going to give you a full rundown. So what's the food, what are the nutritional benefits, what are the nutrients, the constituents or the chemicals within that food, why is it anti-cancer, how is it anti-cancer, like how does it make it, how does it reduce your risk of cancer, how does it impact cancer itself. Kind of give you the full spectrum there. So we'll do that like food by food. So by the end of all this, you'll have like a huge array of food resources and say, okay, well this for this and this for this and this for this and this for this. So we'll get to that point over the next few weeks, and then we'll start to build up hopefully some realistic, not necessarily recipes, but just food ideas that are going to make it really easy for yourself. I'll make it easy for my patients, and you guys can make it easier for your families to consume on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Thanks very much, and we'll look forward to talking to you again. And if you guys have any questions, just hit me up with any questions about any of this tonight or any other comments or ideas on foods as they relate to cancer. Thanks.